I feel like, you know, if JackeyLove randomly dies, I feel like top esports, they do fall apart. So some questions put towards JackeyLove. So you'll notice there's an arena and stuff, right? If you buy like a load of active items and you have some which just increases percent damage, all of that also gets applied to your items rather than just being the stuff in your kit. It's not like your abilities do more damage, it's also your items as well. Dragon goes down to top esports. They have themselves 2 dragons, which is
a lot of value once Cream has that soul spirit timeout. You do then need to hit your Q3s, and right now Kara has just been pretty good at spacing out of them, staying out of range.
Really important thing which has just happened, we have the Black Cleaver built up for Jace. Ult goes on to Care, and that's CC. Dead Corky.
Tries to flash on out and just pulls the soul back. Not enough. Jackie now in danger in mid lane, but still has the cleanse. Backs off.
Actually, where the Yone gets to hit big skill shots. Like, the Corky is fine in the 1v1. Slowly bleeding out on these side lanes after the Yone's gotten ahead now of Care. Herald's going to get started up. What do FPX want to do? I guess they need to contest this. They don't want top esports to get a big map advantage off the Herald.
Shadow waiting for a good moment to pull the trigger. Nature's Grasp available. Do have Braum trying to block off angles. Kanavi here as well could now be in a spotted bother. Just getting dodge steals the Herald. Nicely done by Shadow. Cream needs to pop one out, taking a lot of damage, but they will kill the Leona off the back end of it. Cream can't get over the wall because he had his body blocked. Sheer flashes on in, goes to the skies. And JackeyLove is well and truly grounded, but for a second or two he might survive until Assume lands a Mystic shot. Well fought by FPX.
And top esports, now they're in a bit of trouble, aren't they? We said, hey, they might be in a bit of trouble if it gets to the point where FPX's damage just becomes so much easier to use than theirs, because they have a Yone that has 1 combo and they have a Varus that has a poke build. It's not that high DPS. They're going into a team which outranges them and has way more damage sources. If one of the damage sources from top esports slips up, it becomes so hard to team fight. Herald will jump into that tap, get a second slam. Inner turret now down to half HP. FPX immediately.
Sheer gets 2, and that's just rough to see. And that was pre things like the Muramana transformations. You've got triple tier trolls.
Very
and they still win this without those second items. And it's a big deal. They can stop the dragon stacking as well. And FPX now in a fantastic position in this game. The moment those Muramanas transform, I think it's getting...
His early game wasn't explosive, and I think largely Shadow has outvalued Kanavi with these Malkals, has the Leandries as well, which gives him some extra damage to play through. Needs to be a bit careful now, doesn't have that flash, and then just as I said, that one actually is a caster curse. He's gonna die.
Yeah, he is. Goodbye, Shadow. Nice pick off, and top esports do have quite a lot of pounce and pick, assuming they're there as a group. A little harder in those team fights if they're not managing the full-on engagement. And we are just kind of waiting to see what the next stage will be as Cream needs to ult away. Sway's around.
This is the
How aggressive do they want to play this?
Oh, we'll see. So goes wide. He has flash, has to use it.
Does indeed. Shadow now stepping on forwards. Nature's advances there. But now the turnaround! They've overplayed it. Sheer goes down. Shutdown goes into the hands of Cream.
It's Cream that ends up overstepping at first, but after that, it's Sheer that stays too long. Markout comes through, but it doesn't have the value. Top esports playing the map just a little bit better again. I was a little bit worried that we'd cursed again at first, because Cream was potentially going to die in that side lane, but top esports now have themselves a bit of breathing room on the map, which they didn't have before.
Exactly that, and well played by Cream to dodge as much of the skill shots as he did. Had to dodge a lot of the skill shots. Nice response from top esports to defend their top lane and get them the kill. It means they can get towards this mid-tier 1, and they now go back towards a relatively notable gold lead. It's not a huge amount of
plan.
money.
You want to trade out for an outer turret onto Jace, open up on the map a little more because your side lanes have been a bit more difficult. Sway does have a solar flare, only gets the shield from JackeyLove though.
And out comes the long cats, courtesy of Shadow's Nature's Grasp. That's now the ultimate down. That's been such a big win. For the other side, as Care has to flash on over. 369 comes careening forward to the Odal into the decimating smash, and the jungler is dead before they can even look to contest onto the objective. And Care eats a big Q3 into piercing arrow trade between Cream and Jackie. This time the damage isn't chunked out before the fight by top esports, or from top esports. They can turn back to the dragon with the man advantage and get themselves to soul points.
And this is why I was kind of asking, well, okay, FX, do you want to trade this for a top lane turret or something? Because it didn't feel like they had the setup. Top esports, by taking the 3 turrets beforehand, have given themselves a much easier entrance into objectives like this. Now there's going to be a teleport towards top side, and FX didn't trade out dragging towards the top lane side lane advantage. And it feels like they've come away with nothing. All right, okay, cool. FPX now needs to be afraid of the Baron being started up. The Poke Varus getting some value. The Varus lands onto the Leona.
They try and turn and burn. Takes a fair amount of time to go down. Fisher comes on through, and the Leona does get a final bit of an engage off at the end of it all, but will still die. Crisp and Kanavi, though, taking quite low and doing it.
Cream's just solo kill Cat.
Oh my god, he has you right! And now they can look to go forwards because they've lost an AD carry already. Shadow can't flash over the decimating smash. They're keeping playing to make sure Shadow dies. Blasco not quite dragging Sheer back into the fight. And Top Esports win on two sides of the map at once. The all-in attempt from Cream gets a kill on one side, while Leona dies on the other.
Well, Cream cancels the teleport from the core key as he tried to come into the play. He must have just pinged it with an ult or a Q3, and now this is the culmination of everything we were talking about around the last Dragon. FPX chose not to take map advantage by giving up the Dragon, and it really has felt like the game's fallen apart now. Sheer, he's walking up, but Crisp and Cream should be able to chase this one down. I'm not really sure he can escape the donut power of the Crispy Cream.
Tries to Blasco on his way out. There's still a Q3. Needs to try and trade this one out, and does so. Valiant effort for Sheer to chunk Cream out, but just nowhere near it. Would not have been able to run away because you're CC'd, and that prevents you from doing the moving thing.
Yeah, it tends to do that. Now you have now I think Top Esports have got themselves everything they need. Assume does not have himself the items he needs. He's also going for the Shojin for extra mobility over something like a Surreal Disturb, which I wonder whether that's the wrong item at this point. Yes, I know it gives you good damage, but you need as much armor pen as possible to get through Kanavi, 369, Crisp. It feels so horrible trying to cut through this front line.
Relying on just Black Cleaver at this point, I think, is potentially quite risky. Each way. He's about half their HP just incidentally. Jackie Love beginning to really hurt as well at this point.
Well, 369's unkillable. It's absolutely unkillable. He's tanked up the whole team and he goes in again.
Oh my days, just going for full contact, saying, okay, you've engaged, time for me to return the favor. 369 kind of low at this point, but nowhere near actual death. Still has a soul fetish for at least another 500 HP. Spirit Cleaver, the Soul Unbound into a Fate Seal, does a lot of damage back. Sheer and Care doing their best to try and defend against the bulwark, this brawling call of Top Esports, so they come out on top to TES. Dway goes on in with that Zenith Blade, but unfortunately falling straight off that precipice. A triple kill to Jackie Love, who does not quite get the Quadra with the Comet.
So close. Cat lives, but he has to go back to base plate. He's regenning up, but realistically, what could he do against a 5-man Top Esports? The answer is nothing.
Cream unbinds his soul one final time this game. It was pretty close in the early game. 369 goes into zombie form on the Phantom, but TES, on their return from first stand, get down to business and take FPX out of the equation.
Top Esports, they got too tanky. Even with Jace building the Black Cleaver, could not shred